It really goes back to my childhood. Firstly, to a fantastic teacher that I had who really opened my eyes up to how things are connected in our ecosystems. So how human action results in outcomes in our ecosystems that we never intended. And that was coupled with a real love for the environment. So I loved hiking and being in the environment. And I think the sort of pivotal point for me was when there was a series of fires in an area that I'd walked in very regularly as a sort of hiker. And when I went back to look at the environment, first of all I was shocked by the extent of the damage. And then when I repeatedly came back, you could start to see that there were some plants that were coming back and the insect. And then as those sort of frontier plants established themselves, then other things came in. So it was a real, I suppose, epiphany of this idea that, you know, there is this interconnectedness in our ecosystems. Over time, I started to realize that some of these longer term changes that were actually happening in the atmosphere, in the climate, were because of human activity. And that really then sort of fired up my interest in trying to understand how the climate system and the atmosphere interacted with these ecosystems. Because it really is rewarding when you start to see rural communities in the Pacific, in Papua New Guinea, which are miles away from urban centres, where there is no internet and there's no telephone connections, start to understand what they can actually do to respond to some of the climate changes that they're seeing. And when they understand and are empowered to do that, it really is a rewarding process. The career of a scientist is a fantastic career because you're learning all the time and your life is enriched by that learning process.